Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Those that follow me, thank you very much. This is my new toy. It's the Volkswagen Caravelle. Really nice inside, really like luxury inside. As you know, it's got the seating like this at the back for the kids. So this one has come without a rear camera, which is quite surprising, as most of them do come with cameras. It's got the original head unit. It's got the nav on it, so we're able to add a camera onto this one here. So I spoke to a company called Professional Retrofits. They sent me a camera, I think about £100 it was the Volkswagen low line camera. So this is the way that I've wired it in. It's quite straightforward to do, honestly. So what I did was take this pillar out here. I've seen in the other videos how I've done that, and then we've taken this off here, and we've also taken the glove box out the bottom here. Now luckily for me, they've had a dash cam fitted. So with the rear camera at the front end here, what you've got in the back of the in the quad lock in the back of the head unit, you've got the blue square plug. Now there's two pins in the camera to go into the two square plug there, pins 6 and 12, quite easy to put into the back of those two there. You then need a supply for the camera and an earth, so I've put the earth underneath here, top there, the earth for the dash cam, and they've also put the dash cam live here, so I've been able to pick up the live from there. So the cable routing the Caravelle is, I've taken the panel off here and I've followed the camera routing for this one here, because there's also rear camera as well. So the cables come up here, and then if you take the handle off here, you can then feed the cable behind here. You're then coming to this here, and to take this off you need to take the handle off. The handle is exactly the same as this one here, so you pry it off at the bottom. There's a little hole in the bottom there, you pry the cover off. There's two screws. Take those two screws off there, this will come off, and then this whole cover here comes off. So then you can feed the cable through here, and now you're up to this section here. So looking at this section here, you have got this here. You don't have to do this, it's tidier for me, and it's easier to route the cables and make sure they sit in the right place. Take the screw out of there, also take the screws out of there and there, pull this off there. And then what I did then was I pulled the cover clear of the rubber seal here. So what you can do is just pull the seal down. It's just like the normal door seal here. Pull the door seal down, then you can tuck the cable underneath, put the cable through there and put all it back up again. This panel here, it just comes off. Let's go inside, have a look. Oh, if I can fit. Oof. Now this panel here is hooked around here, and it's clipped into here. So you pull it from here back and it'll unclip from here. So that means your cable's up to here now, and then you put your cable underneath here. So this here, there's nothing holding this to the glass here. You just tuck the cable underneath, all the way underneath here, and now you're up to the back here now. Okay, this just goes back on, it just clips, so hook it round there first, and then tap it into here. That'll go on back into place there. So now you're all the way back at the back now. Let's have a look at the back. So at the back, we need to take this trim off here, which just unclips off. You then, on the transporter, you then have a place underneath here to feed the cable through, because you want it to come through here at the back. So feed the cable through here at the back from underneath. So that means taking this out of here and dropping the headline in just a little bit, just so you can get the cable in through here, into here, and then you're feeding the cable inside then into here with the coat hanger. What you've got then is this cover on the Caravelle. You've got this cover here, so we need to take this cover off. So you've got a screw behind the strap here, there, and you've also got the child lock here. So you need to put 2 pins in the child lock there, one in there, one in there. This takes the cover off. Once that cover's off, you can then pull this cover down. So it's popped in like the door covers, you know, the door cards, the video I've done, the door cards. Once you've done that, then you can then pull this cover down. I don't think there's anything underneath there, but I'll check if there's anything underneath there. Once you've done that there, then it's just a case of getting behind here, and we're fitting the camera here, right in the middle here. Okay, and then once we've done that, then we need to do some coding. One other thing I have found in the forums, which has thrown a lot of people off, is your camera won't work if the tailgate's open. So if you've spent all that time, you fitted your camera, your tailgate's open, and you're messing with the head unit trying to get it going, if your tailgate's open, your camera won't work. Okay, so make sure your tailgate is closed. Yeah, okay, so we'll get on with doing this back cable here and taking the cover off. Okay, so at the back here, here's what I've done. I've taken the clip out of there. You can see where someone's been here before and just been a little bit rough. You can see it's creased there as well. Taking the cover off here, you see it's clipped into here, here and here. You need to take the rubber seal off around here. You can see where the trim here clips onto there. You've also got on here, you've got your what do you call it, your like coat hook that needs coming off there. Okay, so once you've done that there, then you can take the rubber cap off here like that, and then you can feed a wire straight through there, straight into there, and you can get it. Be very careful when you're pulling this down, okay, you don't want it to crease. That's why I've taken that off there. You can just tilt it down just enough for you to see where the cable comes out here. That's the rear camera cable. So I'm going to follow this. Okay, so you're going to push the cable out the back here, that way, coat hanger that way. It's going to come out here. You can get the coat hanger from here, pull it this way, tape on your tape this to it, and then pull it back, and you pull it back through here, and then we can feed it through here, and then it needs to go in a coat hanger down, and then it comes round and it comes out on here. Okay, so to take this back panel off was quite easy actually. It all just clips on all the way around. Be careful of this here though, because when you're taking this off here, what I did was kind of support it up once it's unclipped, don't let it drop, and then just undo the blue plug from there. The only bit I struggled with really was taking the child lock off. What you need to do is put a very small drill in there, 2 tiny drills in there. I think they're 1mm drills. Push them in there. That releases the pins inside there for you to pull it off, and that there lives at the end here. Okay, so what you're doing, you're putting the two drill pins in, and it pushes these clips back there. Once that's off there, then you can then take your handle off, which is this here. It's got 2 screws in the handle there. Once you've taken the 2 screws off there, you can then pull the plastic down and clip it all the way around, and it just sits on here, as you can see. Okay, so once we've done all that, then we're ready now to pull the cable through. Once I've pulled the cable through to here, I can then drill here, put the camera in there, screw it up to place there, and then it's just a case of connecting the cable inside here. Okay. Okay, so all I've done there is I fed a coat hanger through there with the string attached to it, and I got it from the other side there. Now I'm going to pull it back through with this cable camera connection onto it there. So I've just tied it on the end there, and I've taped it up. So what's important is when you're pulling cables is that there's nothing to snag on when you're pulling things through. It's got to be nice and sleek when you pull things through. Okay, so I'm going to pull that through there now. So the cable's going to come tight. We're going to pull it up through behind here, and it's going to come up through here. If I can cable tie it to anything underneath here, I will, just to stop it flapping around. But for now, I'm just going to take it up through here and out through here. Okay, so I fed the coat hanger in through the steelwork here, pulled it out the other end. What I did was I connected a piece of string to it, this string here. So I fed it in through there using a coat hanger. Once it came out the other end, I put the camera on the end and I pulled the camera through, so the camera cable came out here. Then I put the coat hanger in from this end through to here with the string on it again. Pull it through to the end here, get the string, tie it to the camera, pull it through to here. Then the coat hanger goes with the string at the end. No, actually this time I tied the string to the end of the coat hanger. So I fed the coat hanger from here all the way down till it comes out here. Bit of a faff, but it does do it. Once it comes here, you can pull the coat hanger all the way out, and that'll leave you the string. Once you're left with the string on its own, tie the string to the camera cable, feed the camera cable down, and you'll find that it comes to here, and that's it. Okay, your next job is to fit the camera, and it's to just plug it in to the end here, and then it's the coding then, isn't it? Okay. Okay, so the camera itself we fitted here in between the two what are they called, the public lights. So if you have a look, it's fitted there. Now it's not exactly equally spaced between the back and the front, it's a bit more forward, if you can see the picture there, but it's equally spaced between the two lights there and there. If you had a barn door, then this here would be fitted on the handle. I'd fit it on the handle. So on the barn door, you've got the handle here, haven't you? I would fit it here on the end of the handle, on there. So let's have a look on the inside. Let's pop up inside here. Now, might be a bit dark, but let's have a look. Nope, just perfect. Okay, so the cable that you've run, I've tied it all up here. So I've cable tied it, I've not let it just thrown around anywhere. I've cable tied it, so what happens is when you're driving along, it doesn't rattle, your cables don't rattle. It's quite important that you cable tie these up so they don't rattle. Okay, now you have to drill a hole for the camera, and then you've got this nut then that tightens up. Okay, I found that I had to have two people to tighten this up. One person on the outside holding the camera square, so firing directly out the van and straight, and the other person to tighten this up. What I found was when you tried to tighten this up, the camera would turn with it. So yeah, if you can get help from somebody outside to tighten that, that's a lot of help. Don't over tighten this here, obviously. And once you've fitted your camera, you've just got your cables to connect it then. Okay, so on the coding with the VCDS, you need to go to select control module, you need to go to 5F, you need to go to coding, long coding helper. I'll click no for that, and you need to go up to byte 9, current byte is 0, you go to 19 there, 19, and on 19, bit for rear view camera, low installed. That's one I've got. So bit 4. So you'll click on that. Once you tick that box there, you then need to go and click do it, and that will accept it. Once you've done that, you then need to go close that controller. You then need to go and find the let's have a look now. You need to find, could be drivetrain, chassis, park assist. You want the park assist, you want, wait, let's try and find that, shall we? Park assist. Okay, here it is. It's number 10 here. It's park steer assist. Click on that. Park high LVE 8K. Click on coding. Long coding helper. You're going to click no on that, and that will give you bit 5 there. It'll say rear view camera installed. Tick the box again, and then you click do it, and that will be installed. And what you'll find then is once you let's cancel that. So I've not fitted the camera yet in the tailgate. I've only tried it in here just to get it going. What I found, I had to put the engine off and back on again for it to come on. Now when I put it in reverse, I get the camera. There's the camera. Now I believe on the camera, that's my tailgate on the inside. On the camera, I believe that there's a wire to snip on the cable itself that gives you the lines. So this being the low line camera, it won't. The high line camera, when you turn the steering wheel, the lines will curve with the steering wheel. This one won't. It'll just give you the straight lines. But yeah, camera works great. So now we can carry on fitting it in the back. Let's go and have a look at that. Okay, so it's just a case of drilling here underneath, right in between the two lights in the middle there for the camera. I'll show you the camera. So the camera is here. This is the camera. So what we're going to do, we've got a drill. We've got a special drill that drills it to that size there, and then we can fit that in the back, plug the cable in, and you'll have the camera at the back. And then it's just a case of clipping all the back panel in. I've put all this back here, as you can see. I've just got that there to go into there. I've put all this back here, and that's it, everyone. I hope that's been helpful to everybody. Thank you very much. Please like and subscribe. Okay, so that's the camera fitted. So when we go into reverse now, we can see that it's all lined up like that. Let's have a look at the back. So to get the lines, you'll have to snip on the camera. There's a little green cable that needs snipping on that, just to give you the lines on there. And the camera at the back looks like just like that there, nice and flush underneath there. Okay, everybody, hope that's helpful to everyone. If you like that, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much.